Hi, I'm Pam with Countryside Garden Center and Nursery. I'm here to interview a couple questions with Chuck Heidgen, the founder of Shady Hill, known for their geraniums. We also have current owners, JP and Brent. So with the first question, when and how did you get started with your geraniums?
As far as the geraniums here at Shady Hill Gardens, when we bought the greenhouse in '74 in Batavia, I brought with me a collection of plants, which included, a dozen or so geraniums. And customers, and I propagated those, and customers inquired, do you have any others? And I said, not this year. And I started pursuing adding other varieties through purchasing new plants, new to us varieties. And that's when we started to specialize in geraniums. We didn't realize it at that time, though.
Chuck, can you tell us why geraniums?
Why geraniums? Geraniums have always been a popular garden plant. They're very, very reliable. They've been one of the best-selling, most popularly used garden flowering plant. I mean, for American gardeners, especially containers, they are outstanding.
How did different varieties come to be? Why?
In life, some of them are by mutation, so that's an accident of nature. And when garden hobbyists start growing plants, they will try breeding them, and they will try crossing the darndest things, and will come up with the darndest things as a result. It's really some of those gardeners that have done those things that shouldn't be possible that have been really astounding. In today's market, the ivy geraniums are a perfect example that we were just discussing a short while ago. They're almost all now the old ivy geranium crossed with zonal geraniums that are getting this interspecific, two different species of pelargoniums, and you get that hybrid vigor, for lack of a better word, and you get amazing results. And you see, and if a hobbyist does this, if it's only a slightly different shade of red with that seedling, that's a new variety.
So we have Chuck, Brent, and JP holding a couple varieties of geraniums. If Chuck, you can tell us a little about these varieties.
Well, I'll tell you first about this blooming one here in my hand. This is Pandora. This is it's called a tulip flower geranium because the petals are kind of incurved and never really fully open. And it comes in just that one color that performs well. It will surprisingly bloom in lower light situations. This is Mrs. Plymouth. Okay. Mrs. Plymouth is one of the variegated foliaged scented leaf geraniums. Actually, this is one of the rose-scented geraniums. I believe it's Pelargonium graveolens, and it just has the scented foliage. And this particular one, the variegation is very, very slight, just on the very edge of the leaves. Characteristic with another one of the fancy leaf geraniums called Platinum, which I discovered off of a dwarf geranium many years ago. This one is most unique. This is Pelargonium pseudoides. It's a very upright growing plant. In most of these novelties, the non-blooming ones especially, make terrific accent plants in combination planters. This will give you a foliage shape, foliage color that you don't see very much. And when it does bloom, and it does not bloom prolifically, but it has a beautiful deep purple, almost magenta flower color to it. Makes a striking display. A unique thing about this one is it has and this pertains only to the real nuts out there. this has a unique chromosome number, whereas most geraniums have a chromosome number of 18. This has 22, and as a result, it's can't be crossed with anything else. So you can't. There's one other species that has 22 chromosomes. That's why I asked you if you have the apple-scented geranium, which is a prolific blooming and has a similar leaf shape, but a much larger leaf without the color at all.
So my question is this, Chuck. Some of these geranium varieties people will use to make tea. Is that correct?
Yes.
How do you do that? Which ones?
If you're a tea drinker, you can make tea out of any herb or leaf or stems. You would merely dry the leaves or stems. The scents on many of them are, frankly, you should describe the one plant as unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think many of them have unpleasant scents. I don't think you have the peppermint scented geranium. Oh, there you go.
This is the one that somebody
That's
was
Mabel
talking
Gray.
about making tea out of.
That would be excellent for tea because it has lots of foliage.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mabel Gray. I recognize this baby from a long time ago. One of the single most difficult to propagate geraniums.
Yeah, it is hard.
Hey, if it works, do it. Basic rule of all gardening. If it works for you,
Keep doing it.
do it.
Chuck, just wondering, you have visited us a few times now since your sons sold it. What do you think of the place you originally built?
I'm glad that there's people that are growing and selling plants like we used to grow, now operating the place. And I say thank you to both of you and all of you for continuing to grow and sell plants. And help me. I get a little choked, I'm sorry. Help make the world a more beautiful place to live in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Chuck, we just want to thank you for trusting us with your collection and letting us continue to grow that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad, as I just said, I'm glad there's an interest
Very much.
in the unusual. They're great. Thank you.